7 things I wish every knitter knew. These are all things that I hear people talk about. Sometimes I even have to remind myself of these. I just find that there's sometimes a lot of pressure knitters put on themselves without needing to. So if you're feeling overwhelmed with your knitting, or if you're just starting out and are just kind of bewildered, feeling discouraged, then these hopefully will be of help. Hi, I'm Pauliina, also known as Lina, and I'm an knitwear designer based in Helsinki, Finland. I design knitting patterns for your soul and create these knitting videos here on YouTube. I am currently knitting on a new sweater design, so stay tuned for that. Here's what I would like to say to you. So the 7 things, these are in no particular order. I've timestamped them below so you can skip ahead to the next one if something doesn't feel relevant to you. 1. Knit with what is available to you. In this day and age, it's easy to start thinking that you need to be knitting with these specialty yarns or those limited edition colorways or whatever special this or that the social media circle is currently raving about. And that's just simply not the case. I know there are often limitations to what is available to us, what we can easily access, whether that's financial limitations, geographical limitations, or allergy-based reasons, or something else. For me personally, ordering yarns from the UK after Brexit is quite a hassle, is really slow, and usually ends up being really expensive. So since then, I've sadly had to prefer ordering yarn that I can get within the EU or purchase more from my local yarn stores. All of that said, knitting with yarns that feel special to you can be a treat, and I do hope that if it's within your limits, that you will feel free to occasionally treat yourself. I guess basically what I'm saying is that I hope that no one feels the need to defend their yarn and needle choices to other knitters, whether that's the fiber type or the price point. Moving on to number 2, invest in a good pair of needles. And now I know that's a bit contradictory to what I just said, but if, in my opinion, this is what I would like knitters to know, and at least to stop and think about. If you want to invest in something, I think the reasonable choice would be your needles. I mean, every stitch you make goes through your knitting needles, and the pair you purchase is usually not just for that one project, but it will sit in your hands for hours and hours, year after year, project after project. So it's worth making sure that it's something you like knitting with. Knitters have their preferences. A lot of us, me included, love the Jagu needles, like what I'm using right now. Some I know swear by wooden needles. Others like interchangeable circulars. Some like to knit with straight needles. Whatever your preference is, I hope that you will find the right needle for you. I think needles for knitters are the same as a good pair of trainers to runners, or a good pair of scissors for those who sew. So it's I think if you're investing in something, that's a worthwhile place to invest in. And number 3, don't chase trends. Knit whatever makes you happy. As with everything in life, knitting comes with its own set of changing trends. One moment, speckled dyed yarns are all the rage. Next, it's boucle yarns and yarns with special textures. It could be cropped sweaters, small scarves, hooded cardigans, colorwork socks, scrap yarn sweaters. The list goes on and on. It's ever evolving. If you love these things, whatever the rage is, whatever the hit of the day is, do it. Enjoy the sort of communal aspect of knitting something popular. But if not, don't feel bad about that. There's no need to jump on every single bandwagon. And number 4 relates to the previous point. It's not about the number of things you knit, but that you enjoy every stitch. It doesn't really matter what you knit and how much you knit. I mean, this is a relaxing hobby, or for most of us, it's meant to be a relaxing hobby. So if a really long red carded stitch scarf is something that is calling to you, and you know that knitting it will bring you peace of mind, a sense of calm, a sense of accomplishment, joy, then do that. Even if no one understands why you're doing it, do that. If your heart is calling for something really complex, pick a pattern that really engages your mind. If you only knit one thing this year, that's okay. If you knit to frog something for the 5th time, that's okay. This is not a race. It's something where just being able to do what we do, knit. That's what matters, the journey and all the moments along it. Number 5, there's always a first time for us all. I have really no idea what my yarn is doing here. So don't be afraid to say if you don't understand something, or ask questions that you think you should know. Even if you've knitted 20 years, if it's your first lace shawl, if it's your first sweater, you're bound to run into things that you haven't done before, that you haven't experienced before. And that's okay. That's understandable. Sometimes we forget things and we need to kind of recheck. I often find that knitters feel embarrassed to ask knitting related questions, but there shouldn't be any need to. You can Google. Of course, Google is excellent, and all the tutorials that you can find here on YouTube, they work wonders and often are better at explaining what you need to do than, say, reading it from somewhere. But sometimes you don't even know what you're supposed to Google, what to write into Google in certain situations. So ask around, ask your local yarn store, ask the designer of the pattern, ask on Instagram. Make a post about your problem and someone is bound to chime in. In my experience, knitters are happy to help other knitters along. There may be a new technique or the wording on the pattern isn't what you're used to. There are a number of reasons why you would need to ask questions, and there's just no reason to really feel anything about it. No shame, no embarrassment. Just go ahead and ask. We have all done the thing you're asking about for the first time at some point. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's one way we learn. And along with that, don't be afraid to try new things. There are many ways to work around this. If a technique feels scary, try it with a piece of scrap yarn first before doing it in your big project, if that makes you feel more certain. But like I said, there's no reason to accomplish anything either. You don't have to push yourself. You don't have to step out of your comfort zone. Though I would say trying new things occasionally does keep your motivation and your inspiration going. And if you haven't tried something, how do you know it's not for you? So if something seems intriguing, calling your name, but you think it's too difficult, don't let that stop you. Just go for it. Let's keep with that red garter stitch scarf. If that's what brings you joy and makes you look forward to your evening, then do that. There's really no need to progress or master every technique. But if the thing that is stopping you from trying a project, if it's the fear of something new that's stopping you from casting on something you really like, then don't let that stop you. And the last one is frog things that you don't like. You can KonMari your knitting pile. I've unraveled projects I've just cast on. I've unraveled projects that have been nearly finished. I have even unraveled projects that have been finished and worn. It's okay to change your mind. And it's okay to admit that this wasn't the project for me, this wasn't the yarn for this project. I know frogging isn't fun, but I still think it's preferable to leaving the thing in your unfinished project pile or forcing yourself to finish it for whatever reason. Every time after I've frogged something, I feel a huge sense of relief. My time is freed up for things that I enjoy more. The yarn in their almost neat balls is freed up to be used in projects that they are better suited or gifted to someone else who enjoys them more. And I don't have that nagging feeling of having something unfinished, something I'm supposed to be doing. I use a lot of air quotes for this video, I see. And that's it, at least for now. 7 things I wish every knitter knew. I think the thread that runs through them all is to give yourself some grace and be kind to yourself. Focus less on the competitive elements of knitting and more on the things that bring you joy and that sense of calm. And simply focus on how amazing you are for creating something in the first place with your own hands from a piece of string and 2 sticks. What is the one thing you would add to the list? What is the one thing you wish every knitter knew? Let's chat more in the comments. If you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more knitting videos. I will see you soon. Thank you so much for watching.